Good morning, friends. My name is Christine Nicholson, partner and principal consultant at Simplify 98038, where we help people simply make things better. I was drinking some coffee this morning. Cheers. This is a mason jar. They're so versatile. I love mason jars. But I was thinking about the concept of being right and how when you're right, you are basing that on all the information that you have. All of the books that you've read, all of the things that you've heard, all of the education that you have, all of the experience that you've had. But the information that you have may not be all the information that there is, which connects to the first step in the Simple Path. The Simple Path is a framework for improvement that Jamie Stillwell and I developed, and we wrote a book on. Simple is an acronym that is start with you, identify what is important, manage the chaos, pick an improvement, learn from it, and employ and enjoy. So when you're right, you're basing it on all the information that you have right now. And in Start With You, we invite you to be curious and ask questions and challenge those assumptions that you may have, because there may be more information to learn that will bring your stance or your opinion to more wholeness, or it may change it completely. So I would invite you, when you are thinking, oh, I'm so right on this, to challenge those assumptions. A few years ago, I was in Montana, Ronan, Montana, and I was driving with my cousin past the Nine Pipes Wildlife Refuge Reservoir. And my grandma used to call it Ninny Pippies, because 9 pipes, Ninny Pippies. But she was fun. But in any case, I always associated 9 pipes to the bird that we always saw there. It was this beautiful medium-sized blackbird that had white-tipped wings. Oh, it was just beautiful. And when my cousin and I were driving around, I was like, oh, look, there's a 9 pipes bird. And she looked at me and she was like, I think that's a magpie. And I go, no, that's a 9 pipes bird. Like, she lives in Montana. She lives in Ronan, Montana. But I was correcting her. And so she's like, I think the Nine Pipes Reservoir or Wildlife Refuge is named after the area. It's the name of the area. Like Ronan is named after the area. And that blew my mind, because for decades I had associated 9 pipes with that bird that was there, which I now know is a magpie. But anyhow, so even when you think you're right, and it can be things that are serious or not, but I would invite you to open yourself to the idea that there might be additional information out there that will bring you to more wholeness. And yeah, usually when we think that there is a right, then there's also a wrong. And it's not always that case, because when you're having a disagreement with someone, you're coming to it from the perspective that you're right based on the information that you have. And guess what? So are they. They're coming to it from the same perspective, with probably different information. And so if you can be curious and open and ask questions to find out what information they have, you might learn something new. And I'm not saying that you'll change your perspective or you'll change your position, but you will learn something new. Anyhow, so being right isn't always right, but it is based on the information that you have. All right, thought for the day. Cheers.